Hey guys, how's it going? Just gonna wait a couple of minutes here just to let people join if there's any. Just gonna do a live practice session, buying with 400 bucks. I'm not doing that Texas Twister toss right now. I have been practicing that. It's gotten a little better, but I am definitely doing pretty good with the 3-finger pinch grip on par. Not doing too bad. It's getting a little bit more consistent. Gonna be going to Vegas 14th, and gonna just start checking it out to see how much I'm gonna spend on these sessions. And I think that I'm gonna go with the $15 table minimum. So we'll start here in a bit. I'll do a couple of practice tosses here. I'm doing a 3-5-3-1 3V set. Textbook. Had 10. Had. Hey, what's up, Joe? Thanks for joining. Yes, it's always good to practice. Step away from everything and throw some dice. Textbook. 628. So just practicing, letting a couple people join if they're going to join. 628. And if you're not catching this live, that's fine. You can watch it on YouTube. It's recorded. Check it out then. Give me a thumbs up. Comments. Subscribe, all that jazz. That'll be good. Aces. Just need to make sure we can see those dice. Yeah, you can see them right there. I'll go ahead and start. I'm already warmed up and feel pretty good. We'll start off with 400. So this is going to be the power press strategy. Power press strategy. $15 minimum table. And I guess I like this strategy because get you going pretty quick. Minimal action for me, as opposed to 400 or 500 inside and 2 hits and down. This is a little bit more subdued, but it's manageable. It's affordable. You have some money extra left over to go in a couple hands if it doesn't work. And of course, I never recommend betting on anybody else but yourself if you are trying to win money, number one. Number two, if you're practicing dice influencing. Going up. Ooh, on par. Nice. Oh, you know what? I was going to do 5-5-5 on the all ATS, so I'll put them on right now. Obviously, normally you wouldn't be able to after the first roll, but whatever. 5-5-5. $10 change. So ATS for you newbies that are coming on and playing dice, you're shooting dice and you want to kind of get a little more involved. My channel has some pretty simple videos. There's not a lot of instructional videos, but I'm going to be putting out some more videos in the future that will include the instructional, and that's for the newbies, for the newcomers that come to playing craps. So definitely check it out, subscribe. You can see the ones that are done in the future. You can see all the videos done in the past. They're pretty basic. They're not, crazy strategies. It's just a lot of practice, a lot of showing you what happens when you're, playing and you're practicing. There'll be some ups and downs. but when you know what you're doing in regards to how the dice are landing, you'll know which side to go on, whether you want to go on the dark side, if you want to play on the pass line, and you want to play in the place bets instead of laying the numbers. A lot of people do either or, some people do both. I'm not here to tell you one strategy is better than another. All those channels out there that are readily available to you will help you to decide which one's best for you. It's a lot of research, it's a lot of video watching, it's a lot of reading. I haven't read it, but the Platinum Craps book is, the go-to book right now, and it's been out for a while, and it's becoming re-popular again. So I'm definitely gonna take some time to read that and look at the different strategies and dice sets that are in there to help your game. But for now, ATS, A, all, T, tall, S. Actually, what is it? It's all, tall, small. Oh yeah, all, tall, small. Make them all. Basically, you're shooting to do 2 through 6, 8 through 12, without the 7 coming out in between. And of course, pays 30 to 1 on the all small, 30 to 1 on the all tall, and then 150 to 1 on if you make them all. Now, I've seen some other videos out there in Vegas. There's 31, there's 35 to 1, 153 to 1. So there's different denominations, and the 30 range is about what is normal, what the average is. 150 and above is what's common as well. 3531, 3V. Why do I use the 3V? Lately, it's just been working for me. So I'm gonna grip this dice. Gotta squeeze them together to make sure they're sticking. Now all 3 fingers need to be flat up against the bottom here, and you need to pinch the top part. And just to show you, let me do this instead. Let me do a 6-5, 6-5, and then flip it over. You want those 3 fingers on the top to be on those dots on the top. That's what I'm doing. That works for me, doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. Like, honestly, it's different for everybody, so it's kind of funny. Yeah, with the 3V, the 7s, they do tend to come out as a 6-1. So if I'm doing 4-3, 4-3 on this set, I'm trying to think about changing my dice set. It doesn't work if I start throwing like that. And normally what happens is I'm throwing them too short, and they have to roll to get to the back wall. If I hit them just right, they'll hit, and stop. Now if they hit, and then stop at 1 rolls, that 4-3 or that 6-1 is gonna come out. I guarantee it. If I don't get that dice on the spot where I want to hit and then hit the back wall and stop, then I'm gonna throw 7s all day. 5-2, 4-3, 6-1, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be a 7. However, when I start getting into a rhythm, and I start throwing the dice, and I have that little waggle, just like golfers. Every golfer has their waggle, and they gotta grip it a couple times, and they gotta shake their hips, and then they gotta look down. They look down at the club, they look down at the fairway. It's the same concept. Same concept with shooting a free throw. If you're a basketball player, you have the basketball, and you want it a certain way. Your hands are a certain way. 1, 2, 3. Spin it up, elbow up, straight back and forward. Muscle memory, same thing. And that's why a lot of people you're going to hear are going to tell you it's a sport, because you're doing the same movement every single time to get those dice to do the same thing every single time. And you have to practice to do that. You can't just roll up to a craps table and expect to pick up a dice and throw it randomly and expect to get the same results. It's not going to happen. You could do that, and then you can bet the don'ts, because your higher percentages on the 7, you may win, whatever. However, dice influencing is a little bit different of a monster, and it has to do first with that grip. So I like to grip them like this, like I'm pinching them together. Extend my arm out, then in, and then toss. See how they hit the back wall, and they kind of roll left. So that means that I threw it like this. I need to straighten it out a little bit more, and that's my consistency. So, all right, enough talking. But yes, I promise future videos. I got 3 up here. Little Tesla. I promise future videos to go, a little bit back to the beginning and just kind of Because when I started out, I wanted that. I needed somebody to be like, okay, step one, this. And the most important thing is that grip. Because if you don't have that grip right, it doesn't matter anything else after that. How you're tossing them, your landing spot, your velocity, your aim, and none of that matters if you do not have that grip right. If you don't have them on par, it's just they're gonna fly everywhere. There it is. Too close to the wall, and it's a 7. And that's a come out 7, so that's not bad. It's bad for the ATS, so I'm just gonna leave it up there. We went 3 up here, but we'll ATS that. So I'm just gonna stop talking now and start tossing. 3531. Coming up. Four, 2, 6. 6 is the point. Mark it up easy. So I'll take that down. I want to go on to 4 and 10. That looked good. They did a little too much, but they rolled. They hit the back wall, and then they rolled this way. So you don't want them to keep rolling. You want them to bounce, hit, stop. One little roll's okay. That's not gonna, burn the house. But you definitely don't want them to be out of control. Dice take a violent toss towards that back wall, and the more you toss them hard, the less likely you are that you're not being random. So when you throw them that hard and they start rolling everywhere, it's random. Random at that point. So, that gets me 27. I'm gonna go to 25. And I think I'm going to do work on 4 and 10s, and then 5 and 9s, 6 and 8s. Well, 8 by itself since 6 is the point. I'll go ahead and throw down my odds in the back. 3, which is 15. I'm going to get some check change here. There you have my 1s, because normally you throw in $4, $5, $3 when 8 hits or the 5 and 9. And this is not my strategy, it's just somebody that told me this strategy. Go look up and search power press methods. I'm not going to explain it here in this video. 639. $69. 21. So this one, you're gonna go from 15. I'm throwing $4. I'm gonna go to 40. 25, 30, 35, 40. So 40 pays. I can't remember this crap. 40 pays 66, 60, 50. Let me check. 40 pays 56. Yeah, 56. I should turn the phone the other way. So it's facing me, or go on the other end of the table. I don't know. Go ahead and Sleepy. Thanks for coming, Sleepy. Appreciate it. And I think it's a rule of thumb to practice when you have, I mean, there's like Inside the Casino on YouTube. There's other videos that show live craps. Like, play that, blast that while you're playing, so that simulates what that environment is like, so that it helps you with your concentration. Hard 10. Hard 10. That pays 27. So now I'm just gonna go to 25. I like that $50 payout when it hits. Oh, flip it sideways. I think I did that earlier, Sleepy, and I have this thing on, I don't know, was that better? I can't change the, there we go. I don't know, let me know if that's better. We'll see if, I'll just move my pass line bet. There's my pass line. There's my bankroll. We'll do it like that. We'll see if that's better. This kind of gets in the way, but it's all right. If you're a good crap shooter, you can play on any table with any distractions. 26. 4, 3, 1, 4. That's what we marked. Put a little small. 3, 1, 4. And we will pay ourselves $50 for one. Is the big. See that freaking chip got in the way. They didn't hit the back wall. I would have been scolded. 8, 6, 2, 8. That's all right. So that pays 21. So I'm gonna throw in. I want to go to 30, 20, 30. We'll go to 30. We'll take back $8. This is a 25. This turns into a quarter. And we'll go to 25, 30. I believe that's a right stretch. Any. Was that better, Sleepy? Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I just got these, there we go. These little things sticking out in the sides and I don't like it. But that should be okay. Move it forward a little bit. Hopefully the phone doesn't fall. Right there. Okay, cool. Hopefully that's way better. Anywho. $26. Oh, I didn't like the way that looked or felt when it came out of my fingers. It's Sleepy's fault. 7. Sleepy's fault. I'm gonna tell Mel on you. Messing me up in the middle of the roll, Brock. Just kidding. We're good. I know that's why I like the strategy. This happened to say you only go a couple rolls and you 7 out. You still have a good bankroll to be able to go back to minimum. I mean, if you're doing a high roller strategy like Team, going, $600 across, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1,000 across, then you're only gonna go once or twice like that if you win. But with this $400 bankroll, you're doing minimum, then you're kind of power pressing. If you get on a good roll, whether that's you or not, of course you only want to play with other dice influencers, but you have a couple of chances to do that without baking breaking your $400 bankroll. So it's a good bankroll. It's a good strategy. All right, $15 pass line. So what's going to happen here is that if this doesn't go well, if I 7 out right away, which I shouldn't, I should be able to get 5 rolls in. But if it doesn't, I'm going to switch to the dark and then lay the 4 and 10 and just try and throw 7 because that always works. Felt good. 6, 3, 9. 9. I'm going to take this $15 off of the 9 and throw it on the 4. And I'm going to go for it. Through the $25 field bet. That win will pay for the 10. What's up? Huh? What? Oh, okay, come on. Daughter wants a Capri Sun. 6, 4, 10. I'm going 6, 4, 10. So that is a field win. Well, I'm not playing the ATS again because I forgot. That'll give me 25. Get on that 10. That 4 I'm hitting less of. I'm hitting more 10s than 4s. Just historically, right now, that's why I'm making that decision. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. Thanks to Sleepy. Where you been?
Thank you.
All right. That looked good. 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 5. So that leaves 21. Same thing here. $4. 5. $25, 30, 35, 40. 40 pays 56 on the 5 and 9. I don't have odds in the back here, so I should probably do that. All right. That looked good. The hit. They kissed the back wall and stopped. Literally about 2 inches away from each other. It was a hard 10. That pays 50 for 1. Change. So I didn't press, but I'm going to press this to 25, and I'll press that 10 to 50. And you're probably saying, well, why aren't you doing it evenly? Well, I'm hitting more 10s. Like, that's just, what I'm doing. What's happening in the moment. Because that's one of the other factors you got to think about when you're playing craps is what are the dice doing? It doesn't matter what's happening when you're practicing at home because your table is different than the tables in Vegas. It's not going to happen. The energy's different. Everything's different. So if you can get on a decent toss, you need to start looking and reading the dice and seeing what they're telling you, like what's happening. I was off because they threw them like this and they landed like this and they went left. So that was a ace deuce. So it doesn't hurt us, which is good. But in the same token, that kind of tells me something when I'm seeing how they're landing and hitting, like which way they're going, and how to correct the what is the angle? I guess you have an angle. Your hand's straight in front of you, If you turn it right, if it's at a 90-degree angle, so your wrists have to be on plane and horizontal, if I'm saying this correctly, horizontal with that back wall. Because if you twist your hand and your wrist, you're twisting your dice and they're going to land on the corner and they're going to roll to the left. If you do too much to the right when you release and you're doing like this, they're going to roll to the right and they're going to hit the right wall. So that's something to think about also, is read what your dice are telling you in accordance with what the set is that you're using, and how they're imploding or exploding, or if they're double pitching. You got to read that. You have to have all that knowledge, and I don't do that all the time, but that's very important to this game. Oof, too much. Hit the back wall. I hit the rubber on the bottom, and that's why one spit out over here. But we got lucky. It was a 538. 538, that pays 21. So we want to go up on the 6 and the 8. We're going to go to 30. Yep, we're going to go 30 each. That's 60 bucks we need. 50, 60. Collect $2. Oh, that's 50. Oh, you know, we need another $5, don't we? 50, 55, 60. Here we go. So now we can go like this. All right. Whew, that was close. So they hit, but I threw them so arced, I think because they went high, they went down, and they hit here, short, but they were bouncing outwards both at the same time and hit and stopped. Replay that if you want to, but that is the result. So 50 pays 100 for 2, if I'm not mistaken. $3 change. All right, so now we're making progress. So what I can do now is go back up on both 4 and 10. There's variations to this as well, so. And if you're watching live, appreciate it. If not, you're watching this as a recording, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment if you would like, and look out for further content. Oh, that was horrible. Oh, that was horrible. 628. The reason why I said horrible was because I could feel one dice coming out of my hand before the other, and you can see it where they're far apart. That's horrible. 2030 pays 35 on the 8. So I want to go to 60 here. That's 25 here, 5 here, 25 here. I'm going to throw in a quarter. I want to go to 60. I've hit this twice already. And then the other thing, you know, there's a multitude of things going on here. So the other thing you got to think about as well when you're doing this method is when you're throwing, what is my SRR? What is my SOR? Like, how many hits can I get? What's my average of being able to hit these numbers before I see that big red? So right now I feel pretty good. However, I think the power press method is meant to be something where you're not really thinking about that. You're just you're trying to get, you know, up there on the place bets as quickly as possible to get paid out before that big red comes out. That's good. 639. Point winner. Front line winner. So. The 9 should have been $20. Whatever. Doesn't matter. The winning doesn't matter if you cannot throw the dice. So I have a little bit more. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Should have been $20 even on the back because of the odds. Anywho, I try not to let those things in my mind cloud my focus. Three, two, five. 5 is the point. So I'll take that money off of that 5, and then we'll go to 60 on the non. Let's do 50 on the 9. That pays me 70. That pays me 70. That pays me 70. I guess it's kind of easier in my mind, but we're going to keep rolling because that's what matters, is focusing on the roll, the toss, the aim, velocity. 10. That's a big hit. Now we're getting some good hits here. So I don't even know what 75 pays on the 10. So 50 pays 100, 75 pays 150. Hmm. 80. Oh no, hold on. 75 pays 150, yeah. $4 vig. $4 vig. Pays 150. So that's a really good hit. So at this point, you decide you want to keep adding to it, you want to keep collecting. I like the collecting mentality. I mean, that's not power pressing, but I'm at a spot where I'm comfortable, because it's got to be, okay, I feel comfortable throwing the dice. The amount that's up there is okay. What I started with, where I'm at, I'm comfortable. Because I could come down and be ahead a little bit. But that's up to you. That's why it's called gambling. Gamble on yourself. Ooh. 4-2-6. A horrible throw. Horrible aim. Dead aiming. That's 6. Pay 70. But I want to go to 78. Like this, $10 change. Well, actually, we don't need to do $10 change. I got the 3 here. That pays 90. 78 pays 90. And I think it's like a non-traditional place bet, I guess. They either go to press under that amount or go to the next one. There's one something, I don't know. Oh, popped up. 639. So one hit and then popped up in the air and flipped. That's random. Like, that can land on anything. 639. And now that I didn't bet the ATS, I bet you I'd be pretty close. So that pays 70. So we can do, I want to go to 75 because I want to collect some. But I'll go to 75 and then 4, which is not a good bet. But I'm going to do it anyways because I'm not hitting it. And I could lose that if I throw a big red. But just to keep it even on both the 4 and 10, I'm going to stay there. Four, 2, 6. 4, 2, 6. All right, so that 6 pays 90. So I want to go to 102 on both of these. probably asking, why are you going to go to 102? I just like that number. I'm comfortable with losing that. Need to be. But this time I'm already far into my roll, or pretty middle into my roll. And I want to decide, I mean, do I want to keep risking when I've had a good roll, I had a good session? And the answer is probably no, I don't want to risk it. I want to go one more roll, and I don't care what hits here. I'm going to collect and then come down and go to minimum across, which is 15, 15, 18, 18, 15, 15. So. I think it's a good deal. I think it's a good strategy. You gotta know how the dice are gonna roll. You can't ever predict that. Like I could have 7 out a long time ago. So it just depends on how you roll and how you feel what you're doing. Right now I feel pretty good. I'm up. I like the roll. I don't mind doing one more roll than regressing. So don't hate me for it. Niner. All right. Awesome. Best outcome possible for this roll. 549. The last hit. $75 on the 9. Page 105. So another $105. Now I'm going to take everything, maximize my profits. That's a good chunk. I still don't even have odds in the back here, so I'm going to put 15 in odds. And now I want to play the hard ways and see how that goes. So I'll do heavy on the 8s, the hard 8, so 2, 1, 1, 1. That's $5. Play the hard ways, and I'm gonna go ahead and play the field. $15 minimum. So now I only got 30, 45, 40. $40 out on the table. Risking 40. So I'm gonna switch to a 5-4, 5-4. Let's see about those numbers. Ooh, I knew. Hey, you get too cocky, you throw too hard, you're going to randomize that roll, and that's what happens. That's when that 7 comes out. But that was fun. That was really fun. It was a good toss. Wasn't bad at all. So I'll start with 400. I'm going to go ahead and color up. 500. 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. Another 100. 50, 65, 67. Hey, come here! Stop it. Stop. No. Stop it. Come on. Hold on. So we got 500. $450. 400. $1,000. 50. 65. 67. Not bad. I didn't mean to say no. I'm saying
Yeah,
say.
sorry.
Here we go.
Thank
Okay. But thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it. Gonna go ahead and in this one and give a thumbs up and a like.